mental wellness, recovery, and resilience. Here, we explore how communication, environment, and mindset work together to move us from silence to strength. I'm Marion Mills, and I created DPYL out of my own journey through mental illness, addiction, and recovery. These conversations are about breaking stigma, finding support, and reminding you that you are not alone. If tonight's conversation brings up heavy emotions for you, please step away and reach out for support. Call or text 988 or call 911. Let's begin. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Please help me welcome tonight's guest, Carin Gilfry. She is a voice actor, singer, mom, and community organizer. She was a One Voice Awards 2024 Voice Actor of the Year. She has voiced national TV campaigns with brands like Citibank, CVS, ESPN, Volkswagen, Estee Lauder, and Disney. An award-winning video game voice actor, narrates for Oxygen Network, narrated and produced over 150 audiobooks. She holds a Bachelor of Music from USC's Thornton School of Music, and she earned her Master of Music from the Juilliard School. Performed with LA, New York, and Santa Fe Opera, appeared as a soloist with LA Philharmonic, Phoenix, and Pasadena Symphony. And lastly, but not least at all, she is also the vice president of NAVA, the National Association of Voice Actors, where she advocates for actors' rights and AI policy at state and federal level. Please help me and give a warm welcome to Carin Gilfry. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
Wonderful.
Good.
I asked you about getting on this platform. It was because I saw a post on Instagram that you posted. It was a really emotional post. So let me actually share that right now, and then we'll get into the questions, okay?
Great.
All right.
This feels so silly, but have you ever just mourned the end of a dream? Like, I studied for years and years to be an opera singer, and I love performing classical music so much. And I was just listening to this piece by Eric Whitacre, which didn't even have singing in it, the clip that I heard. And I just burst into tears because I realized that I don't think I will ever make music at that level again. And I love my job, and I love my life, and I love my kids, and I love my family, and I love what I do, and it's awesome. But there's a part of me that just mourns the end of that dream. And I think it can be anything. I think it can be if you wanted to have kids and you never had kids, or if you wanted to achieve something in sports and you got too old, and I know it's never too late to start and to do the thing, but if I want to keep going on the path that I'm going with the awesome career that I have and the awesome life that I have, it's just never going to be a reality for me, and that's fine. But it's just not fair that we only get one life and that we only get a certain amount of time. And there's so much I want to do. And I'm going to try to do all of it, and I had a career, but there's just so much I want to do.
So that was the post. And I think I immediately reached out to you when I saw that. Of course, it was very moving. And even at the beginning of the post, from the beginning of the post, even at the end, you could tell that you were beginning to get emotional again, just at the thought of that loss. Let's get into the question. So like I said, I really appreciate you for being here and being so vulnerable. If you could tell us, how long were you an opera singer before you realized that your voiceover career was no longer running alongside it, but actually replacing opera?
It's funny because my exit from opera happened at the same time as I decided to do something else. And it wasn't so much that voiceover overtook my opera career.
Okay.
It was that I was starting to leave opera because for me, it became a really toxic environment to be in. And
Mm,
the reason is, and a lot of opera singers will tell you this, being an opera singer is like being a professional ballet dancer, where you have to be at peak performance at
yeah.
all times. You have to be in peak physical condition. You have to train constantly. It's incredibly expensive. You
Yeah.
have to coach with people. You're always learning new roles. You're always traveling. And opera companies don't pay typically for your travel or lodgings. They
Right.
only pay per performance, so they don't even pay for rehearsals. You get there,
Oh,
like, you'll get to Paris and you'll be the show will go up in November, but you get there in September for rehearsals, and the whole
right.
time from September until the show goes up, you're living on your own dime,
Yeah.
and then they pay you the night of the first performance, and you get
Ooh,
paid per performance. So if something happens and you lose your voice and you can't perform,
yeah.
you have no income.
Wow.
If something happens and that first show you don't sing well and they're like, "Yeah, we don't think she can do the whole run," and they fire you and
Yeah.
your understudy takes over, you have no income. So the pressure is really high, and the people who watch opera and the people who perform in opera are very critical, and they really are looking for perfection. You
Yeah.
might sing 10,000 perfect notes, but that 10,000 first note that's a high note that you miss is
Yeah.
the one thing that the critics write about and the one thing that everyone remembers for the rest of the time. So,
Mhm.
I was in a really toxic relationship with an opera singer also,
Okay.
and when we broke up, it coincided with me realizing that this was not something that was good for my mental health, and I
Mhm.
needed to rediscover the joy of being alive
Mm.
and just being myself. I had no money. I had relied on my former spouse for all of our income, and
Yeah.
so I left that relationship with $1,000 in a checking account and 2 suitcases, and I moved into an apartment in New York City where I couldn't afford the rent. My parents were my guarantors. I still
Yeah.
paid the rent, but they were my guarantors so that I could
Sure.
get the apartment, and
Yes.
then I rented out a 2nd bedroom on Airbnb, and I babysat, and I left opera and did that, and then had this moment in my life where I just started journaling and trying to
Mm.
figure out, like, what do I actually like to do? If I could wake up in the morning and do anything I wanted,
Yeah.
what would I do? And the answer was that I wanted to be a Disney princess.
I love it.
But,
Oh,
like,
I love
but
it.
but what is a Disney princess? So then I had to go back and be like, "Alright, listen, if that's
Right, I
the
love that.
dream, like,
Uh-huh.
what how do I get there?" And a Disney princess is a voice actor.
That's right. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so I thought, maybe that's something I should do, go into voiceover instead.
Okay.
And so I kinda jumped in with both feet, and from really almost from day 1 of starting in voiceover, I almost didn't sing at all.
Yeah.
I was just kinda done.
Yeah. It's
I had a
understandable.
few months where I did both, maybe like a year where I did both, and then I was just so into VO that I just was embracing my new reality and my new life with both hands, and I really just left opera behind.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was hard because in the same way that being in a toxic relationship with a person,
Yeah.
there are beautiful moments, and there are things that you miss, and there are things that you love, and but also it's just constant, "You're not good enough. This is bad." Like,
Yeah.
you it's a constant battle with your psyche,
Yeah.
and when I think about opera sometimes, I just think about the amazing experiences that I had and all of the work that I poured into that
Yeah.
to be a professional opera singer. And then realizing that I had to leave for my own sanity and safety, really. I was not in a good place. And so, yeah, mourning all of that is difficult.
Karin, I really appreciate you for being so open, honest, and vulnerable because, and I want to applaud you. It's not a lot of people that, because of what you've worked so hard for, even though it was for your mental health, a lot of people stay because of what they work. It's no, I'm not going to leave. I worked so hard to be here,
Yeah.
and ignore all of those toxic traits, toxic symptoms, and realizing just how much it was affecting you. So good for you for knowing that it wasn't an easy decision, but it was a decision, like you said, that you had to make for yourself. And what better thing to go from an opera singer to a Disney princess?
Well,
So I love
I haven't been a Disney princess yet, and I think at
it.
this point, I'm 40 now, I think I've exited the Disney princess territory, and now I'm getting into the villain I'm in my villain era now.
Okay, okay.
Disney villain, but I'll be like the nicest Disney villain you ever met.
Yes, exactly. Okay, thank you so much for clarifying that because that actually pivots a lot of my questions because I was thinking just from the post, of course, I created my questions just off of the post, thinking that it was something that was you had to give up because of that. As you just stated, it was still hard. How did you deal with that? How did you do you think that you dealt with it by pouring yourself into voiceover to avoid?
Definitely.
Hmm?
Yeah, that you hit the nail on the head. That's
Yeah.
exactly it. I'm thinking of a terrible saying, I'm gonna say it anyway because it 'cause it's
Okay.
slightly relevant, but the best way to get over someone is to get under someone else,
Under some,
which
yes.
is
Okay, gotcha.
which is
Yeah.
but
No,
it's
that's
like,
perfect.
if
Yeah.
you're relating opera singing to a person, that's what happened to me is, like, I left opera and I just threw myself into voiceover. I took every single class I could. I was doing you asked me about before we started recording about audiobooks. Some of the first jobs I ever did were audiobooks, and a
Okay.
lot of those audiobooks I was working on for royalty share, which means you get paid no money upfront, and you hope the book
Yeah.
sells, and you earn a portion of the sales. So, I was working on 20-hour books that took
Mm,
months to record and getting paid no money, but what I gained was experience doing the
yeah.
job, and what I
Mhm.
learned was that I actually loved this job. I loved every single part of it. I loved what one of the things I love the most about voiceover versus opera is that I feel like I have so much more control. I
That's
am
great.
in charge. I'm in
Yeah.
charge of my business. I'm in charge of
Yeah.
how many auditions I do. I'm in
Yeah.
charge of how many direct marketing emails I send. I'm in charge
Mhm.
of how I schedule my time a lot of the
Yeah.
time. I am in charge of my business. And if I
Yeah.
wanna add something to it, I can. And if I wanna
Mhm.
take something away, I can. Whereas opera was like the way that it's set up is you have a manager. Your manager gets you auditions. You go to maybe 6 auditions in a year if you're really, like, auditioning a
Wow.
lot in person in New York City. Most singers fly into New York for,
Wow.
like, a couple of months in the fall and just live there and do their 6 auditions, and that's if you get sick for one of those auditions, you're done. Or you fly to Europe and you do some auditions in Europe, and then you just hope that they hire you, or you get hired from someone seeing your last performance that you did who is in charge of decision making, and they will just get you ask your manager if they can have you for next season. So it's
Right.
very much out of your hands. As an opera singer, you don't contact the head of an opera company. You would never do that. That would be really, really
R
not good.
Wow.
So I loved the fact that I got to take the reins of my own life and steer
Mhm.
myself in the direction that I wanted to go.
Yeah.
And I loved the acting. I at first hated the tech and the editing part of it, but then
Mhm.
once I really learned how to do it, then I learned to love that part
Of
too, and I got
course.
really fast at it.
Yeah.
And then the last thing was I loved the community. The people that I met in voiceover, I feel like we have a community that is unlike any other community, at least in the performing arts, maybe
Mhm.
in most industries. There are people who will share their contracts with you if you're in the same game or on the same show,
Yeah.
just to make sure that you're getting the same rate, like that we're all
Right.
on the same page. Like there are
Yeah.
people who they'll say, "Hey, I got this audition. I don't know if I'm right for this, but I think you might be right for this. Here, take this
Yeah.
opportunity for yourself."
Yeah.
There are people who will you can just call them and talk to them and ask them anything, and they just wanna help you, and it's just so supportive. Whereas in opera, it was very much like there are only 7 opera companies in the
Like
US,
crabs in a
and
barrel,
yeah, there's
like
only
crabs
yeah,
in a barrel type
exactly,
of thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody's fighting each other and everyone's tearing each other
Mhm.
down, and there's some supportive people there too. It's not all toxic, but it was just wonderful. I felt like I found the job that I was meant for, which is great.
Yeah, Soraya said the VO community really is the best, so supportive, and
It's the
I
best.
certainly agree with that as well. Coming into voiceover from a social worker, it was a lot of people, almost like people not wanting you to get ahead,
Mm.
feeling like you're gonna take their job, but I've always been a believer, especially in the corporate world, if you do a good job managing someone and teaching someone, training someone, that is what you're training them for, because ultimately you're going to retire. I certainly can attest to the VO community being very open and very supportive when it comes to mental health and very mindful of it.
I think it's that so many of us have been there, and
Yeah.
if even if you're not there now, you almost all of us have experienced a time in our lives where
Mm.
it was just dark. There were just bad,
Yeah.
bad things happening, and you just don't know how in the world you're gonna get out of it. And or you remember in voiceover when you first started and you knew nothing and
Yes.
you feel like an idiot now for what you didn't know, but you didn't know what you didn't know.
You don't know what you
And
don't
so
know.
you
Yeah.
just wanna help people. There's no degree in voiceover.
Yeah.
And I think that empathy, specifically empathy, not sympathy,
Mhm.
people
Yeah.
who are going through difficult challenges is what helps us to take care of each other and lift each other up. And I'm really proud to be part of the voiceover community and to hopefully be a person that people feel like they can be honest with and open with, and hopefully I can support people when
Oh, yeah.
possible.
Yes, definitely.
'Cause I've been there.
Yes. And that's what I appreciate for you, first of all, being here. And because I think sometimes when people look at your success, your career, where you are, people, unfortunately, society looks at where you are now and not the road that it took to get to where you are,
Yeah.
or looking at, oh, the privilege, looking at whatever it is that people are looking at, thinking that they know your story and thinking that, oh, she doesn't know struggle. So I
Mhm.
really appreciate you for pointing that out. Another thing that I really appreciated about your post was you made a point to constantly, and I know that you were talking to the people, but it was also just a private moment that you needed to get out, I feel. But what I appreciate about it is you made sure to make a point to say how much you appreciated your career now. It's although I may get teary-eyed in moments in these different times where I miss being an opera singer and missing that career that I trained for, but I love what I do. I love where I am. So what would you say to someone who is looking at your career and you're so successful? How would you explain the struggle, I guess,
Yeah.
and what they don't see?
I think that both things can be true at the
Mhm.
same time.
Yeah.
I think that you can have a successful career and
Mhm.
mourn the fact that you don't get to spend enough time with your kids.
Yeah.
And even on social media, it looks like you're taking these big family vacations or whatever, and everything's great,
Yeah.
but you don't know that your daughter was crying because you missed her awards ceremony because you had to go to work.
Yeah.
It's both things can be true. You can have a wonderful life and still have things that you regret and that you miss. And for
Yeah.
me, the thing about that post, part of it is that I turned 40 this year,
Mm.
and I had, like, an existential moment where
Okay.
I realized a lot of people only live to be 80. This could be halfway.
I see.
Like,
Yeah.
how much time do I actually have to do all the things that I still wanna do in my life? How
Mm.
many good
Okay.
years do I have left in my body to be able to do all the things that I wanna do? And it seems, "Oh my gosh, I have so much time," but it also seems like I have no time left.
Mm.
And just the idea that I'm now 40, if I wanted to have a 3rd kid, maybe I could. I don't wanna have a 3rd kid, but what if I
Right.
woke up one day at 48 and decided I wanted to have another kid?
Right.
That is not a possibility for a lot of people at 48. And for me, the opera thing, I guess it's the same as if you had been a professional athlete and you achieved a bunch of things in that realm, and then your career ended and you went on to be a coach. And you are a championship winning coach, and you love your job, and you love teaching, and you love coaching people, but you also really miss playing.
Yeah.
and you can never really play again because now
Yeah. That's
that's
a
out of
perfect
reach.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. I've moved on to another job that I love so much, but
Mm.
I also miss the job that I used to have, but only certain parts of it, and I don't really wanna go back.
Yes.
But I miss it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, there were certain parts of it that I was really bad at, but there were certain parts of it that I was really good at.
Yeah.
Like, I love speaking different languages. I love being
Mm.
on stage. The actual singing part of it was always really stressful for me, but, like, interacting with a cast where the conductor speaks German and the soprano speaks Italian, and then you have
Wow.
one
Okay.
person in the cast who speaks Russian, but you both can speak French, and we're all kind of interacting in different
Wow.
languages, and, like,
That's
that's
beautiful.
just so fun. It was
Yeah.
so fun for my brain, and I miss that, but I still love my life. Yeah.
That's another thing that you shared, and I think that it was intentional when you mentioned it in your post. It's no different than someone that wanted kids and never had kids. I love football, and that's one thing that I think about when it comes to football players. It's the social worker brain that I have, that when I see football players struggling to, and I think Tom Brady actually kind of went through that. He did not want to leave. He still wanted to play.
Yeah.
And I think that it's really hard to let go for anyone. Matter of fact, I interviewed Carlin Tools, and he has MS,
Mm,
and he started
mm.
having symptoms of it when he was in his 20s, and he went to school and got a master's in business. And within 4 to 5 years of earning that degree, he had to retire because MS was so debilitating, he could not work. And that was one of the questions that I asked him in his episode. How do you deal with that? The vision that I had did not have bumps in the road.
Yeah, and there are
Um,
so many things that are just completely out of our control.
Absolutely.
I have 2 or 3 friends who had major contracts in opera in the year 2020. They were gonna make their
Oh,
Metropolitan Opera debut
yeah.
in April of 2020, and
Wow.
then the world shut down and they never got to.
Look at that.
And
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of trajectory their career would have been on had they been able to do a successful Met debut in
Yeah.
April. We
Yeah.
can't know. You can
Mhm.
only know the reality that you live in.
That it is. Yeah.
And so, feeling that regret, I think it's always important to acknowledge your feelings and to have a moment where you really feel that, but it's
Mhm.
also really important to get yourself over that hurdle and to
Yes.
deal with the real desire to move beyond and have a happy life in
Mhm.
whatever way that looks, but to make that a goal because we could all sit with regrets forever.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for saying that. I really appreciate that. Kever asked, what's a tip on how to make the most of your time and stay positive? That's a great question.
For me, it's 2 things. Number 1, top of the list is gratitude. Having gratitude for everything that I have and
Yeah.
everyone that I know and everyone that I love and the work that I have now, and to let the people in your life who have done wonderful things for you know how much they've impacted you. At the beginning of this year, I decided I was gonna meet with all my agents. I just did it the past couple of weeks. I met with all my
Mhm.
agents and managers in part to just say, "Thank you, you are amazing." Like,
Right.
oh my gosh, I make a lot of lists. I
Okay.
make a
Yeah.
lot of to-do lists, and I put even silly things on my to-do list that are gonna take 1 second, make all the beds in the house, it takes 5 minutes, or
Right.
drink water, because I love the feeling that I get when I have something on a to-do list and I can cross it
And you
off.
can cross it off
And
or
then
check it out. Yes.
you get that little dopamine hit of, "Yes,
Yeah.
I did it."
I did it.
I feel
Yes.
good. I've done something today. And then you
Right.
look back at your list at the end of the day and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I did all of these things. The last
Yeah.
thing is just I need to do all my accounting, which is not gonna happen today. We're gonna move it to tomorrow." But when you can organize yourself in that way and make a list, I think it's really
Yeah.
helpful.
I really appreciate that question, Kever, because I know for
I
myself.
love Kever, and by the way, Kever was just nominated for a Unicorn Award, if you don't know this, which
Oh,
is
I didn't know
amazing.
that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I did not know
So
that.
good.
Oh,
So good.
congratulations, Kever. I did not
Congratulations,
know
Kever.
that.
So awesome.
Wow. Carol says she's the queen of lists.
Yes, lists. We gotta have the
Oh my
lists.
goodness. I love that. Congratulations. But what I realized for myself when I was going to the hospital and get back out, I focused too much on how bad I was feeling, but
Mm.
never looked at the other side of things. Wait a minute. Okay. I've dealt with that. How long are you going to stay here and just, woe is me?
Mm.
Hi. So I appreciate you saying, and I think you said that earlier as well, acknowledge your feelings because avoidance is not good either. So yeah, acknowledge your feelings. And we have a lot of congratulations and woohoo.
Yeah, Kever.
Yes, for Kever.
Actually,
Um,
while we're reading the congratulations, I'm gonna
yes.
get something that I
Okay.
think will be relevant to show you.
Okay.
Hold on.
Awesome. Thank you. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm so glad.
Yeah. Okay, I got
Kever, oh, you guys. I love you guys.
it. Okay, so speaking of not wallowing in the sadness, which
Mhm.
again, it's important to feel the sadness.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the story of the worst day of my life, which is so I told you I was married to someone who was an opera singer. It was a very toxic relationship. We broke up. I had no money. I literally, at this point in my life, I think I had negative $1,000 in my checking account. I had a cat with my husband, my ex-husband, and it took 8 months, but finally I got the cat with me in New York, and this was like my baby. We didn't have any kids. Love
Right.
the cat. My best friend asked if she could stay with me in my extra room with her husband, and I said, "Yes, you absolutely can. Just know that I live on the 29th floor. They're putting in screens in the windows next weekend. Keep the windows closed because of the
Uh,
cat."
okay.
The short version is her husband was hot, left the window open, the cat went out the window, and the cat died very horribly and tragically.
Oh,
And on the day that I discovered this, it was horrible, and I won't go into all of those details, but, like, it was as if my entire life that I knew had collapsed
yeah.
around me, and my baby, this last thing that I had that was the one piece of joy from my last relationship was now gone. And I stayed up all night just pouring into this journal.
Yeah.
And this is my journal from that time.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's
You
like
still have it. I love
just
that.
oh, yeah, I have all my journals. It was
Mhm.
just full of all of this stuff. But at some point in the night, I stopped. I wrote a letter to my cat,
Oh, I love
and
that.
I said goodbye, and I let her go. And then we got to this page, which is chapter 2, The Phoenix.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
And I drew a picture of a it looks like a child's drawing. But this is the thing,
That's
it doesn't matter.
beautiful.
This is my journal. I
Yeah,
can do whatever I want.
that's right.
And I started it was literally 2 in the morning and I had been up forever. And I started from that point, the lowest point that I had ever felt, figuring out how to build myself back up
Back
from
up.
the
Yeah.
ashes stronger
Mm,
than I was before. And it was like brick by brick, piece by piece, I decided I was
mm,
going to make a life that would be impossibly beautiful, that people would look at and say, "How is this even possible? It seems impossible," because it would be everything that I wanted. And so much of it has happened, but it takes work and effort. It takes deliberate action to put yourself in a place of, "I'm building something for the
mm.
future,"
I'm sorry.
instead of it's
I'm sorry. I was not expecting that.
no.
That is really powerful,
It's
and
really
that's what
it's
Trevor was
hard.
just saying.
Yeah.
It it's the power of getting it out, and that's just like I said at the beginning when I shared your post. I know that you knew that you were on sharing a post on social media, but that was something that you just needed to get out for yourself, and it really does show the power of journaling and the fact that I love and all these people saying that they. I think Soraya said that she has something from
Yeah,
journaling from
journals
sixth
from 6th
grade.
grade.
You
Yeah.
know, it first of all, anytime you may get down on yourself or think, "Oh my gosh, I haven't accomplished anything," you can go back and look at these old journals and, "Wow, I forgot about that time. I forgot about how low I was. And look how far I've come." So that's just It's really powerful, but I'm a crier. But yeah, that's so
Me
beautiful.
too.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that.
I also
Wow.
started talking to myself as if I were my best friend talking to me, in my
Mm,
journals. Like,
yeah.
I started calling myself honey and sweetie in my
Mhm.
journals and just whatever, and I imagine what my mom would say to me. She would be like, "Oh, honey, like,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. This sucks. Like,
Yeah.
but we're gonna get through it. You can do this. We're gonna do this." And I had to be gentle with myself throughout that whole time, but also just know that there was something better on the other side. And yeah, life sucks, man. Life is horrible sometimes. It's
Oh,
so unexpected, and it just like,
I'm so sorry.
you're one phone call away from devastating news, but you're also one phone call away from being on Oprah. We don't know. You don't know what can happen. It's just unexpected, and the only thing that we have control over is the little things,
Yeah.
like what time you put yourself to bed, how much water you drink in a day, and sometimes you can't even control that, but you do what you can to take care of yourself so that
Yes.
when you do get that life-changing phone call, at least your body is prepared and you've hopefully had enough sleep and you've taken care of yourself every day so
Yeah.
that you can be strong. I
Yeah,
don't know.
absolutely. Wow. Thank you so much. Wow. I don't even think that I think maybe for the last 10 or 15 minutes, I have not asked not one question that was actually on the, but again, that's what I
That's
love
all
about
right.
it's just flowing, right?
Yeah.
It's just a natural conversation. So I really do appreciate that. Definitely. I love it, and it also just shows the power of in that moment. It sounds like you're very self-aware and you have been for quite some time, or maybe always. The fact that in that moment you didn't just go to bed or wrestle in your sleep, have a restless night. It was like, no, I have to get this out. I'm gonna. And in that moment, at 2 o'clock in the morning, you actually pulled your journal out and started. Had you been journaling before that though,
Yeah,
or was that
no, I've
okay?
always journaled, and I find that I feel my best even when bad things are happening. I feel my best when I have a journal. And I think
Mhm.
for some people that can be a therapist. It's like going to a therapist.
Yeah,
You just have the ability to get it all out of you. I've gone to therapy at various times in my life. I like it sometimes, and sometimes I'm like, "I don't think this is helping," but journaling always helps.
yeah,
And, yeah, I have a whole shelf of all my old journals back there, and it's really fun because I make goal lists, and I draw stupid pictures, and there are times when I've drawn a picture. Actually, I have a page in here where a guy that I was dating, he his name was Evan, and he left me notes all around my house.
oh wow, look at
They're funny,
that.
they're
Oh
like
wow,
little cute little sexy notes sometimes and beautiful notes and really sweet, and I'm not dating him, it doesn't matter, but it's so nice that someone left
yeah,
these around my house and I put them in my journal to, like, remember
yeah. To remember that
that
moment, I love that. Yeah,
moment, and it's just so nice, but yeah, I have little sketches and just I don't know, and this is 2014.
wow.
This is a long time ago.
When is the last time I know you pulled it out just now. When is the last time you probably opened that and flipped through that particular one?
This particular one?
Yeah.
This one I've opened probably more than any of my other journals, specifically because this one was the one where I divorced my ex-husband, my
Okay.
cat died, and I built myself back up.
Yeah. Makes
This
sense.
one and there are people I think that feel bad about all of the bad things that they've gone through. They feel
Mhm.
resentful about all the bad things they've gone through in their life.
Yeah.
I have to have gratitude
Yeah.
for the bad things that I've gone through in my life
Mhm.
because had it not been for my ex-husband, I wouldn't have met my current husband because I probably wouldn't have been single. I would have been married to somebody else. I wouldn't have the 2 kids that I have today. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have gone through that emotional turmoil of rediscovering what I love and who I am and what I want. Like, I'm so grateful to him even for the bad things that we went through together
Yes. My
because it
God.
made me who I am today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's only human too. Like,
That's right. Yeah.
he's not like an evil villain who there were times when I felt like he was an evil villain, but
Right.
he's not.
No.
He's just trying to hang on to this spinning rock in the universe just like all the rest of us. He might have had his approach might have been bad, but I can't fault him for everything, and I can't fault the institution of opera, and I can't
Right.
fault anybody really. I can only have gratitude because now I am here, and here is a really good place,
Yeah.
and I feel very proud. I feel proud.
Absolutely. As you should. I was just telling my mom that all the things that I used to smoke. I smoked
Mhm.
for 20 years, drank for 30 or more, struggled with mental illness. It's just, I just felt like that's all my life was going to be. I'm so sorry.
No, please.
I just felt like that's all my life was going to be. And what you said earlier, it was like a light bulb went off. When I stopped drinking and stopped smoking, January of 2019, that was the Phoenix moment for me. It
Yeah.
was like, I, okay, so you're not smoking, you're not drinking anymore. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do
What's
with your life
next?
now? What's
Yeah.
next? What's
What's
next?
next?
You can, the slate is clean. You can be and do whatever. And the thing is, that was 6 years ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
Actually, 7 years ago. It's a new year. So yeah, 7 years
yeah.
ago. Thank you. But when I was smoking and drinking and just struggling with my mental illness, I thought that's all my life was going to be. It is, and I told my mom, I said, the thing that's amazing about Depression Proof Your Life is all the things that I was afraid of and embarrassed for. It has helped me create this platform that
That's
is not only
exactly right.
helpful for me. So like you said, it's these I can't feel bad now for drinking and smoking and being in and out of mental institutions on top of being a social worker. But like I tell people all the time, that's what made me such an amazing social worker because I had the same struggles that I was trying to help my clients through. I understood them. Like you said, it's a beautiful thing to be able to say, I appreciate the bad times, the hard times, because it led me to where I am.
Yeah.
Made me who I am. So I can't be mad about it.
Yeah.
Yes. Who said that? Count it all joy. Yes. Yeah. Love it. Yes. Look how far we've come. But I could literally go on and on. But Sandy said, love hearing all these testimonies and journals. But thank you so much, Carin. I love having this platform. I love the fact that all the people in voiceover that know you know a different side of you now. So I really appreciate that. So yeah.
This has been wonderful, and I'm so happy that this platform exists, and I can tell that you have so much passion for this, and I know that you are helping people, and the fact
Thank
that
you.
you are sharing your journey alongside other guests who are sharing their journeys, I think is incredibly powerful for people, and so thank
Yeah.
you very much for inviting me to be
Thank
on
you.
today.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that I was able to be here, and if you ever repeat guests, I'll come on back.
Absolutely. I really do appreciate it. Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys, everyone that chimed in and that joined us tonight. I really appreciate it. I hope you take the time, if you're actually watching this back, just how important and how therapeutic journaling is. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for joining us on Depression Proof Your Life tonight. If this conversation stirred up heavy emotions for you, please reach out for help. Call or text 988 for 24-hour support in the U.S. If you're outside the U.S., look up your local crisis helpline. Stay connected with DPYL by following us on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, and visit depression-prooflife.com for resources, blogs, and to share your story. Your story may be exactly what someone else needs today. Until next time, take care of yourself. And remember, healing is possible.